All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. I am your host and pilot, Uncle B. Today, we are back in the Britten-Norman BN2. This time it is the Maritime Patrol aircraft. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take off from Lee-On-Solent. I know it's not a traditional Navy sort of base area. We're going to start up. We're going to taxi right on over. We're right near our departure runway of 5. And we're going to climb out, hang a right, head out this way, intercept that VOR DME, turn this way, intercept that DME. And then the notional thing is we get a call that there's a capsized sailing boat out here. So we're going to navigate and we'll notionally drop the life rafts here, navigate here, then navigate up, take a left all the way here, and then we'll head into London City here. Now we've got moderate rain, so it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. We're not going to climb very high. We're going to try to stay low as much as possible. Try to keep an eye on, the coast and the water and everything. So, but yeah, that's the plan for today. Should be about an hour and a half flight. We'll get started here in just a moment. I don't think anybody's going to be flying with me today, which is fine. So we will do our thing nonetheless, and we will wrap it up and call it a Friday once we're on the ground. So if you have any questions or anything, now's the time to ask. If you want to know or have some better idea of what we're going to do, or how did I do this, or whatever, you have some time to ask those questions before I start to get busy. Any questions? Feel free to ask. I'll give it a few more minutes and I'm going to pop in and get the aircraft started up so we can get in the air and get in our way. The route is there. If you just put in the exclamation point route, if you can't see it, that will give you the route. If you want to fly along, or if you just want to see the path that I'm taking, I'll just give you all the information. But basically what is in the chat is basically what we're doing right here. That's our path for today. Might be a very quiet Friday, I know. Usually Fridays seem to be it's hit and miss. Sometimes it's a little chatty, sometimes it's like, nobody wants to say boo. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get the aircraft started up. Get on our way here. So we'll talk about the world update once we're in the air or when we're taxiing, whatever. Canada was the recent world update yesterday. Only one aircraft was released. Let's see, click all that off. Otherwise I cannot get the plane started. Oh, come on. No, there's the... Where is it at? Alright, let's get this thing started. Avionics on, or transponder on. We're going to dial in our first nav point, which is 117. 00. Dial in our second one now. That is 108.15. Right, so let's get some. Now the great thing is we have these. Let's see, I'm looking for the red light. It is red. Maybe not. Just a little bit of light is all we need. We don't need a... Oh, maybe there... Okay, there is a red tint to it. Okay. All right, there we go. Just a little bit of light. Let me get back to the chat here. Right. Let's see. Let's add a little bit of fuel. On the safe side. Now the cool thing is, just to kind of show you all something here. You look behind me. Go behind. You have a technician there who there's all these computers, so you got the cameras, and it does show the flight path back here, which I think is pretty cool. It's like a larger screen. Let me catch up because my stream is already lagging. Gee whiz. Anyway, so you have this larger screen here. And then you have like these infrared sort of cameras. This doesn't change while we fly. It's just for show kind of thing. And then they have a keyboard and a tracking pad or whatever. They can put information in, and maybe even relay navigation information to the pilot up front. Now there's supposed to be a couple spotters back here. They're not showing, but there's a spotter for each side, so that they can look for downed, or either planes or boats or whatever, anybody that might be in trouble. So yeah, that's the is like right there, so we can't back up, but what we can do, we're gonna kind of make a hard right. There's no way to get anybody to back us up. Now if I was on the PC, I could probably do like a notion or ask, or there's a command that you can use, but we don't have it on the Xbox, not that I know of. At least we cleared the building. So you see the two orange pods there? Those are the life rafts that we will pretend to drop from the capsized boat. sailboat. It was anchored, and then in the storm, broke anchor, and drifted out, and now it's taking on water. Something like that. Now we won't get a altimeter reading. I try to find weather, but I mean, we'll get one, a notional altimeter reading once we're in the air and on our way. We'll just stop up here and put in our initial, or our altitude, our expected altitude. Let's go here and go 3. Vertical speed, yep, that should do. And then yeah, that should suffice. All right, let's do this. We'll get our stuff lined up, and then we're on a heading of once we're in the quiet, which is fun. Reckoning once we're on approach, that's when everybody's going to come in. Oh, maybe. Did we miss it all? Technically, we're going to say we're departing to the north. Although it's almost a... Yeah, I guess it's a north, almost northeast departure. Either one, I guess, would work. We're just going to go ahead and get on the runway and peek over at the chat every so often, just so that I can keep an eye out if anybody posts anything. Don't want to stall. Start turning towards our first nav point here. We'll get the autopilot on here in just a moment. So I think we can go ahead and do that now. have a heading of 093. Right, there we are. Okay. Oops. Zoom this out just a bit here. I guess I'm gonna have to call into all right, there we are. Got lined up. So we're just basically kind of parallel to our path, but we're not. I mean, we're heading towards our first nav point. That's the important part. We have 41. Just under about 41 nautical miles to our first nav point. We'll level off here at about 3,000 feet shortly. We'll pop outside. Not that you can see, there's not much to see because it's raining, but we'll get an idea of what the aircraft looks like as we're flying along here. Here we are. We'll leave the landing lights on. Make this easier to identify from the boat that's in trouble. I'm gonna have to do the radio as well as keep an eye on the Now the unfortunate part is we don't have windshield wipers. We can't So we're about where we want to be altitude-wise. Now the good thing is, good morning, Joseph. These map lights, now they are red. This one for some reason shows like a white light, but it is a red light. At night, I mean, they really light up the board there. I checked this last night. And because I was just kind of checking. Now the only problem I see is with this backlight for the panels, you get this little flickering every so often. You'll see it right if I'm looking at it a certain, yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. But we can turn that. You don't need the panel lights. We can see everything. Hello, Patrice. Yeah, nice weather, huh? We need to go turn a little bit. We're getting a little blown off course here. How are you, Patrice? Nice to see you. Hopefully you're well. Yeah, we're just doing like a fictional flight. We took off from Lee-On-Solent, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. So we're doing a maritime patrol basically, and we're heading out towards. We're going to be out by the channel here pretty soon. Ooh, look at that. Little bump. Little bump. Yeah, these do work very well. These lights here. I mean, with just these on, I could see the entire flight deck here. But this is the maritime version. No, you haven't, Joseph. Not, but if you had, it's quite all right. It happens. But this is the maritime patrol version. It has this. So that instead of our co-pilot, that is the sensor officer, whatever. They have our flight path right there, and then there's like these cameras on the screen back here. It's just all like. That's what it would look like if there was actually somebody there, I guess, or some kind of a idea of what would the what would be on board for the flight. So yeah, that's no, we flown this the other day, Joseph. It's just a different version of it. I flew one from Edinburgh down to somewhere. What was it? It was a different version. That's all. This is just a different version. Nothing different. It's just they came out with this one so that it gives you something that you can fly and come up with like a little scenario, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but that's the yeah, that's all it is. We've flown the BN2 Islander. It's just that they did an update that finally came out last week, and this is one of the versions that came out with the update. This is Maritime Patrol. Now I did get, there is the Tri-Islander, which has the two main engines, and then it has an engine up here, and that was used kind of like in for like island hopping kind of thing, like if there was a, like St. Bart's, it's like a commuter plane, or touristy, so like you land at the main airport and then you take another smaller plane that can land at a smaller field to get you to your vacation destination kind of thing. So yeah, that's all it is. That's all. Nothing fancy. I mean, this is kind of fancy. I mean, I think it's pretty amazing what they were able to create with this. To put, make like a sensor, and then there's usually two people back here for spotters, and then, well, you can't see it from here. Let me see if you can see it from the other side. Apologize, I got to keep the radio thing open. Just on the other side of the, I'll show that here. So you have two life rafts, one on each side, that if there was an actual ship or boat, whatever, in trouble, they would drop those over the they would drop it basically into the water so that whoever was in trouble could have some way to survive in the water until more help came. What did I do? Everybody's talking now. It's cool. Everybody posted all at the same time. So that's all it is. It's not necessarily, it's new. It's a new version to the sim. That's all it is. We just had a standard passenger version. So we have long nose versions. This one has like the radar stuff and all that, some sensors to help you locate somebody in trouble, kind of thing. That's all. Nothing else really new. That's why I was asking Nick. I don't remember if you were in the chat or not, Joseph. But I was asking about, what would their main patrol area be? And he said that was in over the channel. So I kind of came up with a flight plan that would take us kind of through the channel area, the shorter distance between UK and mainland Europe, to give us some kind of like a story, kind of what are we doing and all that sort of thing. So that's all it is. But I think there's like the pilot, probably this button here, I would imagine there would be a switch or something, or maybe the person in the back has once we were near the area where the folks in trouble would be, we would hit that button, and then those would release the two orange canisters here that have life rafts, and then we would continue on. We would probably do a circle around to make sure that that the canisters opened, and they would do like probably just a quick check over to make sure everything worked as intended. Because you never know, even if you check all the equipment, there's always that one chance that something's going to fail. And yeah. Anyway, that's the backstory. We've got some kind of wild weather. We're going to fly through something that maybe they would be expected to fly through to assist somebody. That's one of those things that as long as it doesn't jeopardize the crew, they would do it. They would fly. Like I know in when I was in Iraq, for instance, and I think even in Afghanistan, if the weather was like, if there was a bad sandstorm or anything that would hinder visual flying, any kind, so you could see everything, they would be like, no, we're not flying. So like when I was in Iraq, for instance, if the air was red, as they called it, which meant no aircraft was going to take off, we would, if we had somebody who needed to get to the next level of care at the airport in Baghdad, we would have to load them up in the vehicle and do a convoy and take them there, and get them there for the next level of care. But the faster thing, of course, would be a medevac flight. But anyway, so that's what we got going on today. So I just figured I'd keep the map lights on, which is these red lights, because at least then we have, if it gets cloudy and very dark, at least we have some way of seeing our flight deck and the dials and everything. And all right, we can turn a little bit back to just a little bit. With the wind, it seems like we're getting pushed a little bit all over the place. Our first nav point's coming up in 13 nautical miles. And we'll turn on a heading of 069 for our next nav. So tomorrow, normal time, 7:10 Eastern, 11:10 UTC, 12:10 UK. We're going to do 2 flights back to back. We're going to take off from Shannon, Ireland, head up to Belfast City, land at Belfast City, park for a second. Then we're going to plug in our next destination airport of Edinburgh on our little flight computer that looks like this. And then we're going to take off and head for Edinburgh. We're not going to pop out and refile a flight plan. We're just going to, all we're going to do is say, can we, we want to taxi now. Just a few clouds. We're going to fly over the Irish countryside. Just, have a nice little flight on Saturday morning. And there we go. So that's tomorrow in the Twin Beach, the plane I flew yesterday evening. It's going to be the same plane. We're just going to have a nice two-leg flight, but we won't have to change. We won't have to exit out to the world map to say we're heading from Belfast City to Edinburgh. So that'll be kind of an easier sort of situation for us to deal with. And then that will be it for the weekend. We'll be back on Monday in the Ukers 52, continuing our journey and along the Florida coast. We're going from Daytona down to Vero Beach. Not going to be a very long flight, I don't think. So that should be a nice flight for Monday. And we'll continue on in the week. I always will have some kind of a flight plan off to the side that if somebody says, hey, nobody's really streaming tonight, would you mind doing a flight? Maybe if I can, I might do it, but on average right now, I'm just gonna keep my schedule. Alright, so we are just about to intercept our first nav point. Let me make sure we intercept that correctly. And 069, I think. And once we're on that heading, I'm gonna, well, we don't have to call and talk to anybody, but if they do, we'll probably be like, radar service terminated if I don't acknowledge it. And I don't know why my co-pilot, or well, I guess because there is really no co-pilot. This is technically a passenger seat on the other Britten-Normans. I have to handle everything. Does it seem like that? Okay. I thought my plane was like turning to the left, like insanely to the left. Too bad we can't open up the window, huh? Let's get a little air in here, a little air and water. I don't think these open. I know the door does open, but I mean, we can't open it. There's these little switches right there will unlock the doors and open them. So yeah, kind of quiet today. I guess everybody's like, I can't believe it's the last Friday of September already. Don't know where the time has gone. This year is just flying by. But intersecting. Once it changes over to our next nav point, we'll turn. Just looking for that to change. There we go. All right, now go ahead and swap frequencies. 0. 070. I love that. That should be sufficient. We have 32 nautical miles to our next nav point. All right, I'm just going to take a quick break, folks. I'll be right back. Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we got our frequency changed, but now, thank you, Patrice. I totally forgot. I thought I hit it when I sat down. So apparently now it's telling us there is a landing information nearby, but we're not landing there. We're going to continue on. So I don't know how that got plugged into our flight plan suddenly. But yeah, kind of weird that happened. But we're going to continue on to our next nav point, which is 23 nautical miles away, and then we're thank you, Joseph. Then we're going to turn, and that's when we're going to notionally we're going to get that call that there's a boat in distress. We're going to turn out towards the channel, drop the little pods there on the end. I wish there was a way, like I don't know if there's a button. Maybe they can put that in, or I don't know. I would think it would be that little button right there to drop the release the canisters. I don't know. I don't see any other little thing that would jump out to say, you know, this would. Okay, I'm not landing there though. So anyway, we're just going to continue on. I don't know why that popped into our navigation, but it did. But we're gonna fly the route that we planned on flying. And our next heading is 082. Whoa! Look at that. Yeah, bumpy ride today. Well, thank you all for the few folks coming in and hanging out today. Nice to see you all here. Everybody else is going to have to catch this tomorrow at noon on YouTube. I don't know what to tell you. Missed some fantastic weather. Missed a bumpy ride. That's something I think that they probably still have to work on a little bit. It does appear like there's water coming inside here. I don't think that's not realistic looking, but it's one of those things I think that most developers struggle with is rain and the sense of movement through the air, and it does tend to somehow bleed inside the rain, fictional rain basically, or for real weather, the rain in general does tend to appear to leak inside the aircraft, although it's not leaking. This is weather sealed. I'm sure that those seals are checked daily to make sure they're not cracked or fraying or anything like that, so that the aircraft is airtight and watertight. That's just one of those tricky things that they seem to struggle with. Now I'm behind on my channel. I don't know what's going on with Twitch. It always seems to lag quite a bit. I have to refresh it and it's caught up. It's about. But anyway, so yeah, we'll be back in the Twin Beach tomorrow. I think I know, because last night I took off and it was all over the place. I think I know why. And we'll check that theory when we fly, because I think there's a knob in the center console that locks the tail wheel, and as long as the tail wheel's locked, I think it won't, the aircraft won't go all over the place. But we'll test that theory tomorrow when we depart from Shannon Island. Been to Shannon Island. 1, 2, twice. Yeah, been through there. Once going to Iraq, the other time going to Afghanistan. And it's always in the middle of the night. They do have, they do open up like the little restaurant, the duty-free shop kind of stuff. And it does, so there is something there for it, because they, basically it's crew change and fuel up. And, but there's nobody else in the airport except the workers and us. That's about it. I did get to meet the ambassador to Ireland on my trip to Afghanistan. On my deployment, not my trip. My deployment to Afghanistan. Part of the Rooney family, who's hello EL, how are you? Who owns, I think they still own the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got to take pictures with the ambassador to Ireland. They got a picture with me and he's standing next to him somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. Somebody took it with my phone. Anyway. So we're almost to our second nav point. A little bit of a, the weather is very, kind of got us all over the place. But yeah, interesting stuff. We're just cruising along here at about 3,000 feet. It was our set cruising altitude, but we've been hovering just below it. We've been kind of riding the air currents, it seems. A little bit of turbulence, but nothing like too severe, like we've not dropped down and back. Anything crazy like that, but so I'm operating the radio and keeping an eye on everything else. My sensors officer is busy in the back there, monitoring the cameras and the flight path and all that good stuff. So this is the maritime version. Got some inclement weather. I got a picture of this once we're on the ground. I try to do it while I'm having to worry about the radio as well. Alright, and then our next heading is, what did I say, it was 082. So hopefully everybody's enjoying their Friday, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the case may be. And, since we're on the ground and got this thing parked here at London City, wherever they tell us to park, we'll wrap things up for today. Gotta get over to, got up and got some stuff done this morning, but I didn't, it was very cold. Glad I didn't get up and try to go to Walmart this morning. It was, we had a frost warning this morning, actually. It was that cold overnight. But, yeah, I gotta make a run to Walmart and get a few things. And get back home and enjoy the rest of the Friday. Some snacks for tomorrow's flight. Flights, I should say. Flights. 2 legs. 2 legs and a drumstick. Joseph might have gotten that one. He likes KFC. Any minute now you can say, "Oh, Rob, what you like?" Any minute now he's going to post it in the chat. So I'll make sure we intercept that in a second. I wonder if it's because this is only a DME that we're flying to. There's no, it's not a, was the beeping sound on the stream or here at my place? I think it was in your place. I didn't hear a beeping sound in the sim. This thing is really, boy, not get it. I want to make sure we intercept that DME so we clicks over to the next leg. Yeah, if I hear a beeping sound here, that usually means that something is happening that I need to check out. So intercept that. So it says going over to the next thing. All right, there we go. Darn dryer beep. Oh, okay. Yeah, mine does that like if it's close to the end of the cycle. Well, where I lived at years ago, they had that. My apartment, it had a dryer that had a, you know, it would let you know within 5 or when it was done drying completely that it was done. Like I think my folks' dryer has one that it lets you know when it's about 15 minutes away. So sometimes you check it and everything's done. You can just pull it out then, or you can shuffle it back around because maybe that last 15 minutes will definitely get everything dry. All right, we have about 23 nautical miles to our first RNAV point. We don't have to dial anything in. We're just going to cruise to that area. So basically, right now we've gotten the word that there is a sailing boat in trouble. We're heading out towards that nav point, and in another maybe 10 nautical miles, we'll pretend we dropped our life rafts for them, and we'll continue on our way to London City. That's where we'll land, park it up, be done for the day. We do have an ILS approach into London City, so which is good. We can tune into that. We've got the frequency already. We'll tune into that, and that will guide us into our runway there. London City. We'll put it on the ground and we'll park it where they tell us to park, and we'll be done. Crew will have a short, what do you call it? Have a lunch break, whatever, early dinner. I don't know. Get some food. Check over the aircraft after flying through the weather. Some post-flight maintenance checks. Oh, a lot of people on the server today. Usually it's a little bit. Well, I did start an hour later than I normally do. So yeah. Kind of getting back to our. So the World Update 11 was out last night, or yesterday afternoon actually. Came out quite earlier than expected. Canada, some people said there's some issues with it still, that some of the areas still look like but I don't know what areas those are or how bad it is. I've not flown over the entirety of Canada to try to find all the hits and misses, so to speak. And then we only got one aircraft that came out, was the Cessna 195, what's it called, business liner or something like that. It's a prop plane from the mid to late 40s. It's a nice looking plane. So far, it's got pretty good reviews, but not a lot of people are buying it yet. It's not unreasonably priced, but it does lack a autopilot system. Some people are put off by that, but people who've flown it have said that it is not that bad to trim out. It will fly fairly level and it'll stay that way. So yeah, that was what was released. Okay, I think right around here we'll go ahead and pretend we dropped our inflatable raft pods there into the water for the folks who are in trouble. Pretend we hit the button right. Oh, sure, right there. Boom, boom. There we go. And we'll continue on. There we go. The story has been completed so far. The mission has been completed up to this point. Whatever you want to call it. So yeah, only one aircraft. There was a couple updates that I had for some stuff that I already had, which is fine. Not a lot, you know. It was kind of like one of those. I'll make some ads here in a moment, folks. So I will see you on the other side of the ads. Go ahead and wait a few minutes. Frequency. Alright. So I think hopefully all the ads are done. So yeah, not a lot of stuff. You know, they are quite happy that they got the world update out yesterday. It was supposed to be out Tuesday, I think, and it got delayed to Thursday. Yesterday afternoon, I saw that the update had been out, and a lot of people are a bit disappointed with the Cessna 195. They were expecting the Twin Otter, or no, not the Twin Otter. It was a de Havilland float plane. It was used for a lot of bush flying up in Canada. It's an actual Canadian aircraft that will come out next month. Well, almost next month, but in November. Might as well be in October already. But anyway, so that will come out in November with the 40th anniversary. I anticipate that probably next week they'll start talking about the beta for Sim Update 11, which is the next big, especially for the Xbox side, the next big to do with the WASM fix, and hopefully we get more aircraft. Now, I was looking in the forums last night while I was waiting to see what the if there was another marketplace update coming, and there was not really anything other than updates to a few products that I already know, like I said. A lot of people said that even with the beta, they may delay the Sim update till like December, and everybody's like, nope, it's a hard date. They are committed to it. They are not going to delay it because it would impact the release of the 40th anniversary. So very likely what will happen is they'll release it. It's going to have some hiccups, and then just like before, they'll release a massive patch right in December, and then they'll go on holiday, and we won't hear boo until sometime in January. So they'll close down for Christmas and any other holidays and whatever whatever they may do with their time. 8 ads. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just all shorter stuff. That's the best I can do. It's either short stuff or 2 very like longer ones. I don't know. That's how I keep the lights on. Anyway, so what was I gonna say? So that's the anticipation. I am going to sign up for Sim Update 11 beta testing, especially if we have some idea of the WASM fix that's pending in Sim Update 11. I want to be able to help out. Well, that's not me flying. That was just we did an air pocket. I want to be able to help out that, provide some feedback, especially on the Xbox side, and hopefully get some things fixed, if not right away, at least in the next patch for Sim Update 11. That will probably come out mid-December, right before they go on holiday, and then it'll be radio silence until sometime mid to late January. So I will be signing up for that. So basically, because I'm an affiliate, whatever money I get, now I'm at 64. Last time I checked, I was at $64. I can't withdraw any money until I hit 100 at least. But I have to pay taxes on that money. That's the unfortunate part. So, but that money would be used for new aircraft or new airports or something to. Wow, Harris Center. Wow, okay. So yeah, that's why I have to have the ads. If I don't run the ads, I don't get much revenue. And then if I don't get much revenue, then it's kind of pointless to be an affiliate. So that's why I run those. But I don't have any control. I can only try to space them out. If I put them together, it changes the dynamic of the screen. Okay. Sorry about that. As I was saying, if I stretch it out, then it's longer ads. But if it's a bunch of short ads, it seems, I don't know. I'm trying to. Yeah, so it's all because the average time total for their ads, on Twitch is about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. So either it's two like a minute and a half or so ads, or a bunch of smaller ads. So it seems like no matter what, it's people are going to be a bit chuffed at my ad breaks that 048. Let me get back on track here. So yeah, but that's how I can keep the lights on, as they say. Oh no, I want to talk back to London. Talked to Paris once, now we're back to London. All right. All right, only 16 nautical miles to our next nav point. We're mission is completed. We're heading towards London City, and we'll just continue to fly through the weather. But yeah, that's the I mean, luckily I've had a few people subscribing, and Scruffy Tam gave some gifted subs the other day, but yeah, the yeah, it's just very catching up with the everybody posting all of a sudden Discord this morning, as I hear the doo-doo thing, and then it's like trying to make sure everything's go. There we go. It's like I hear that, and I don't know if it's people messaging me or if it's just somebody posting something in their Discord. But anyway, I lost track of it. So yeah, that's basically how that works. I don't know, like if I had more subs, then maybe I could cut back on the ads, I guess would be one way to look at it. I could, have only one, maybe two ads, something to balance it out. But I'm not going to beg for subs, or if you feel like you enjoy what I do, do subscribe if you can. If not, it's perfectly fine. Everybody's welcome regardless, whether you're a sub or just a follower. I don't want people to think that they're obliged to subscribe to the channel. But I do appreciate those who have, and the especially the gifted subs. Patrice has given some the last few months. Scruffy Tam did the other day, so it all does help out. Anyway, yeah. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their day. It's very, sometimes when there's not much in the chat going on, it's hard to know what to say next. So we have, we're on our way to Vabik. And then we're going to turn towards Medway, MEDWY, on a heading of 288. And then once we intercept that, we'll go on 275 heading. We'll switch over to the ILS frequency there at London City, and we'll get ready to land. Not too bad of a flight, despite all the. I mean, look at these clouds. You know what? This is I think this is a good picture opportunity right here. Although I'm going to have to find a way to not include those nameplates. Ooh, that actually looks pretty good. I like that. I like that. Let's get that in the picture. Yep. There we go. lot of people flying today. Let's get another shot from right here. There we go. All right, there we are. Got our pictures for today. Oops. Yeah, that's better than getting a picture on the ground. That might not turn out so well. You know, that would, I would think, I guess, I don't know if there's a possibility. I wonder if there's a way that this gets a, that you can do an in-air refueling, like if there was a probe or something that they could put on one of these, put somewhere that they, although it'd be kind of difficult to do if there was, I guess if there was one like towards the front here or something, but it's something away from the props, obviously. That'd be a little too close to the props if it was right there. One of those. Huh. I think we've got enough fuel to get to where we need to go. We'll keep an eye on that. We're just below 50%, so I think we're doing okay. And our next heading is what now? 288. So next heading at 288. All right, let's go ahead and turn there. Go too far on the, otherwise we'll end up stalling the plane as we turn. I've done it before. If you turn too quickly, too steep of a turn, it'll definitely stall the plane. Or it can. All right, let me get back to the chat there. Sorry, I'd like to check the, make sure I have the correct information. There we go. On to Bedway, as I think it's called, or I just call it that. It's the actual. All right, so we only have 40-something nautical miles, 43, heading towards our next nav point, and then we will, once we get there, I'll go ahead and switch over the frequency to the ILS approach there at London City, because of the turn on 275, and get ready to land. We're still at a pretty reasonable altitude, so we don't have to worry. I don't think we have to worry too much about dropping too much altitude right away. That we. Yeah, let's see. I don't know. I don't know what else to say since nobody's really saying much. So we'll see what the next few weeks, next few Thursdays bring. I think it may, and I could be wrong, I think we're going to have some more lean Thursdays, probably airports, liveries, scenery stuff, and that will be the extent of it until Sim Update 11 and we get the 40th anniversary. We've got a lot of stuff coming, so really looking forward to that. We're getting helicopters for the first time on the Xbox. Looking forward to the DC-3 probably the most. We will take that around Canada. We'll do a flight across Canada in the DC-3. That'll be a fun trip. And yeah, we'll try to land at the major airports if possible. Well, it shouldn't be. It's not impossible, but we'll. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how the flight deck is going to look, but it should probably have some kind of a radio navigation system in it, I think. So we'll do some VOR to VOR flying in Canada. We'll start on the west coast and work our way east. Yes, yeah, we can do it that way. And yeah, so it should be good stuff. The Kodiak's working again, so we'll get back to flying that. The T-45 is working again. We'll get back to that at some point. Yeah. Okay. If not, it's fine. I think I've seen it, but I don't know like in what they've modeled it, because I don't think they've released like maybe they've done like rough. This is what it roughly looks like. I think they're still polishing it up to get all the knobs and dials exactly where they want them to make sure everything works. But yeah, that's the but yeah, I'm looking for. I'm sure it's got it might have something similar to this right here, and then like this and some other stuff. I don't know that it will have I don't think it'll have an autopilot system. I'd be surprised if it does, but it might. Who knows? But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be a fun plane to fly in Canada. Do some vintage aviation flights and that. Some big radial sort of stuff. Or is it pistons? Maybe they're piston aircraft. I don't think they're radials. I think they're pistons. Well, it probably won't let you post it, EL, because you're not a mod. Only the mods, I think, can post in my chat. But it's fine. I'll look it up. But it's okay. I appreciate it, though. But yeah, once we have a better idea of what it's going to look like, I'm sure pretty soon they'll post something in the what do you call it, in the forums or something. There'll be more news soon. So but yeah, I'm looking forward to some VOR to VOR navigation with that. All right, take care, Patrice. Deadliest road. Oh, yeah. Take care, Patrice. Thank you for stopping by and spending some time here. Greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you have a good day. There's a DC-6. It's the PMDG aircraft. Somebody on the PC has one there. That is one of the ones that most people are kind of looking forward to as well. Very intensive aircraft. It's not one of those ones that you're going to hit a few buttons and bam, you're on your way. No, it is a complex study. You got to study the manual kind of thing. I heard like a, was it an alarm or something, or I don't know. Hearing stuff, I guess. That happens when you get old. So there's that. They had a list of stuff, and I think Jorg basically said that wasn't everything. That what they put out, that was just a little bit of what's coming for the 40th anniversary. Now I don't know if he's saying that to get everybody hyped up, or if there's any truth to it. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not too sure what the actual deal is, but anyway, so we're looking forward to that. We'll check that out once it's released. And yeah, good stuff. All right, 23 nautical miles roughly to our nav point there. That's the Cliffs of Dover. The Cliffs of Dover are farther down the coast there, I think. Flying to the clouds now. Hello, Texan. How are you? Nice to see you here. Are you, let me ask you, because I think you did it on Sim Update 10. Are you doing the update, or the beta for Sim Update 11? Partake in that shenanigans, or no? Yes, no, maybe. I think I'm going to go ahead and sign up for it once they announce that it's open. So that way, if you are and I am, then we'll be able to see one another. This should be coming out soon. I would envision in the next 2 weeks or so. Pretty soon they'll start announcing it, since that's coming in November. So I would imagine either next week or maybe early 2 weeks from now. I don't know, but I would envision it's going to be announced soon. I would think. I don't know. But yeah, they did say there would be a beta for it. I think they did. I'd be surprised if there wasn't one. But, well, you know what? I didn't have the best experience on Beta 10. That's what, because some people did have good, that's a weird thing. Some people had, they enjoyed being a part of the beta test, and other people are kind of like, no, never again. So... But I'm positive they said there was one, but then people also said that, they only have basically roughly a month and a half or less to get it done, and there may not be enough time to do a proper beta. So I don't know. I would hope there would be, because I'd like to, especially if there's anything to do with the WASM fix, I'd like to be able to put my 2 cents in on that. What's working, what's not, kind of thing. But I don't know. Maybe there's I thought there would be one, but maybe there isn't. I'd be surprised. Either way, I don't know. I never know anymore. Nothing surprises me. 6 weeks isn't. Yeah, you know what? The more I think of it, they may not. They'll put it out there, and then once people start putting in the issues, and they'll. I think somebody said. Now that I think about it, what they'll probably do is they'll release it. They know that there's going to be some issues, but there'll be a patch update mid-December, and then they'll disappear for holiday until about mid to late January. There'll be radio silence in the forums. The only people that might be, it's just they'll go dark basically, and which some people seem to think is how terrible of them to take some time off and be with family and friends. And but yeah, now I think of it, you might be right, they may not have one. So I mean, if they do, I'll try to sign up for it, try to help out. But if not, I do want to help out one at some point. So maybe it'll be Sim Update 12 sometime next year. I did too. I haven't flown anywhere in Canada. I've seen some pictures. I did check it out on the forum. Some people saw some really, like, wow, kind of stuff. Not in a good way either. But that's the part of using the aerial photography, and sometimes that happens. Those weird sort of, it's like stretched, and it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's just a big mess. But I don't know, nothing is ever going to be perfect, and to expect perfection, I think you're going to always be disappointed. There's going to be stuff that you're going to see and you're like, how, what, why? But it is part of the, when you're doing this stuff and using elevation data. When I talked about this before, when I worked for a company that we had a contract with the U.S. Geological Survey, and we did a digital photo mosaic of the entire state of Missouri. They sent us all the data. They sent us the photos and everything, and then we put in, we pick points to cut out the middle of the photo. And sometimes the way that stuff overlays, you'll get that weird stretchy, scratchy looking stuff like on a mountain or something, right? And so you got to go in there and you just got to basically Photoshop it in as best as possible. It may not be 100% accurate, but at least there's a forest there, and it just looks nasty if you come across that sort of stuff. So that's the tricky part, using all that information, I think. And many people don't. I mean, I'm not a geological mastermind or anything. I don't quite understand all this stuff, the spatial data or whatever they call it. But that's what happens, apparently. At least that was my experience when I did that for that company for a little while. But it's a very time-consuming process to go in and find all those spots and fix them. It does take time to do, because for every one you find, you may not see everything, and then go like, oh well, this. Let's this one. So yeah, you may not. Yeah, it was very time consuming. Like we'd spend all day finding points, and then we would run the software program that my supervisor created, and then we would come in, and either it was all on Linux or Unix machines, and so then sometimes the system would not complete the job overnight, so we'd have to go back in and check everything and then set it up again. Or we would go in and start looking at the photos and scanning it all and go like, okay, yeah, we gotta fix this. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess. We gotta turn a little bit here. So yeah, it's not a very easy process. So I don't that's a very difficult thing to have to sit through. It's very time consuming, very tiring on your eyes, sort of thing. I mean, there's only so much computer screen you can look at for 8 or 10 hours a day before your eyes just get like worn out. All right, I think I have, yeah, that's already set in. We'll make sure we intercept our, well, it seems like we cannot turn enough to get towards our final nav point there. It's like we went way above it or something. So yeah, I don't think ill of them that it's a time-consuming process, but a lot of people seem to think that it's an easy fix, or that they'll find everything right off the bat and be able to fix it like that. And it's not very reasonable. But yeah, for the most part, a lot of people are pretty happy with the new airports. Some of the downtown areas look a little suspect, but what can you do? But yeah, I'll have to check it out. Other streamers are planning on doing some flights in the area. All right, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and swap over to our ILS frequency. It should show. Nope, not yet. Okay. Let's see if we can talk to London City. Yeah, we're still kind of far out from them. All right. So yeah, it was. I didn't expect it. Like when I saw people started posting about it in the Discords, I was like, oh, let me go check this out. And sure enough, so I was playing Division 2 at the time, and I told my friends, I said, yeah, after we get done with this, I gotta go. I got an update to download and see what other goodies we may or may not be getting or whatever. So leave that open because I got to handle the radios when we inbound. Well, although my notional co-pilot that's not really there might take over, and I can handle landing the aircraft. Let me start ready to slow down here pretty soon. Hello, Sergeant Staff. How are you? Yeah, I think I saw it on the Facebook page. Yeah. I was surprised that they released it that early in the day, and then they did update the. There wasn't much else new other than other updates to products already out. Yeah, we did a little patrol of the English Channel. We got the call that there was a sailboat that had been anchored, and it busted anchor and drifted out and was taken on water. So we dropped our little life raft pods to assist until somebody else could get there to assist them. So we were getting ready to land here in London City. Just wait for it to up here on the screen for landing. But yeah, nice to see you here. Hopefully you're well, Sergeant Staff. Here on this Friday morning. Wait till we get a little bit closer and we'll... Yeah, proper English. Yeah. Well, I was going to have like a really torrential downpour, but I'm like, nah. So we've had a few breaks in the clouds and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been good. So we're just on our way to here to London City, and we'll get ready to land and call it a day. All right, there we go. Now it has our ILS, but it's on the wrong end. It should be ILS 27, not ILS 9. Oh well, whatever. We know where we're landing. But it will be, it looks like very likely we're kind of going off course here. We're turning a little bit too much to the north, I think. Let's go back a couple of degrees. And but yeah, we've had a nice flight otherwise. Yeah, it's been good. So we'll get it on the ground and we'll park it up and head out to the pub. Late afternoon lunch. All right, let's see. That's the weird thing. Sometimes it almost seems like we're almost right on the airport before we can talk to them. It's the strange part. We got 17 nautical miles. I mean, there are a lot of little airports around here there, so... yes, this is the new version, the updated one that came out last week with the when they finally released all the updates. This is the Maritime Patrol one that has the it has like a sensor officer back here. It shows the flight plan, and then there's all. I mean, you know what? Let's just do this real quick. I'll show you. And then it has like that. Now those are just fixed pictures. They're not. It doesn't change, but it's just something, you know, to show what, you know, kind of a yeah, it came out with the update. I think on the PC it was out like sometime in August, and then in September, finally, just last week, we got the, you know, because we skipped a week, and then finally this was part of the update. So they have a long nose version that's like for the oh, you don't have the Islander. Oh. It's a fun plane to fly. It's a little bit. It's got its quirks, but I think it's a pretty fantastic plane. It's not perfect, but Black Box Simulations, I think, have done a great job of the with it, and you know, they do try to get stuff updated. You know, of course, it's more they get the updates out on the PC first, and then we get the updates on the Xbox after that. But yeah, it's fantastic. I like it. I'm glad they finally did some update, because it was like we were waiting for that one forever on the Xbox side. There we go, London City, right there. Oh. Oh well. Well, okay. I can't get. Oh, Elle's been having a. Sorry. I did the other day, and I didn't have any issues. All right, we gotta get. All right. There we go. All right, looks like somebody's got. Ooh, look at that. All right, let's go ahead and get. Let's make sure all of our stuff is off. All right, I'm gonna have to drop some. Yeah, I do like the Electra. I wish that I can't. Well, I don't know if it'll ever come to the Xbox, but the only thing that I have close to it is the Twin Beach. But yeah, I've seen Allison fly the Electra, and it does look amazing. I would love to have that in the hangar, in the repertoire, as I like to call it. It's not. You don't think it's good, really? A lot of people think it's like the bee's knees, so to speak. I don't know. Some people, you know, it's one of those weird things that some people just seem to, it's like, oh, the sounds, oh, huh, on the Electra, really? I know people were questionable about the sounds on the Twin Beach, but I didn't know that the sounds on the Electra were bad. That's interesting. Yeah, I thought it was like the huh. Well, I guess like when Allie flies it with Captain Arish, it might just be that because she does have music playing in the background, kind of thing. So I may not. So I may not quite hear the engine noise, because she is talking usually, and then there's music as well. So I may not pick up on the stuff. But all right, let me focus on landing here, folks, and we'll get back to the chat once we're on the ground. Because wasn't that by Aeroplane Heaven was the one that did that for the Electra? I think it was Aeroplane Heaven or something like that. It's weird because there's some companies that a lot of people say they'll buy pretty much anything that they put out. But there's others that people are kind of like, no, not interested, or I got burned by them before, and I'll never, I won't buy their stuff ever again. That's kind of weird that how that works in this sim. I'm just gonna go ahead. Well, there's a lot of stuff around here today. Whew. A lot of folks on the server. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we got a lot of wind here that's keeping me all over the place. Now there should be runway lights, I would think, that we should be able to see by now. Why can't we see our runway lights? There it is. All right. We got the runway in sight. But we came in at a very steep angle here. Wow, we are gonna. Big line. Bumpy, bump. Ooh. We made it. On behalf of myself and the Maritime Flight Crew, we'd like to welcome you to London City. Local time is 15:01 in the afternoon. We understand and appreciate the fact that we probably shouldn't have landed there, but we did it anyway, and we're glad that we did. Do join us tomorrow, 7:10 East or 11:10 UTC, 12:10 UK in the aforementioned Twin Beach. Departing from Shannon, Ireland, heading to Belfast City, and continuing on to Edinburgh. That was all right, Joseph. Could not see the runway until the last minute, but that's, that's why they said nope, IFR landing only, because of the weather. Now, we did have the ILS approach. It's just that we weren't on an IFR flight. We could have called in for IFR, but, it changes everything. But we made it. It's all good. We were coming in a little too steep. It was difficult to judge. I know there's stuff at the other end of the run, on both ends of the runway, that we have to kind of clear over in order to land. But yeah, well, there we are. We made it. So we will, have another go in the Twin Beach tomorrow. Doing the it's a two-leg flight that is part of the Firefly Air, one of their little flight challenges or whatever. Something fun to do. So we will do that tomorrow. We completed our mission by the hair on my chinny chin chin. Yeah, I thought for sure that was going to be a much rougher landing. We dropped very quickly off the sky. I thought for sure we would bounce, but luckily we didn't. Should have come in a little bit flatter, but it's kind of hard to judge when you're in this weather and you don't really have a full set of avionics that we could have used to help us flying the runway. But that's okay. So we made it. We created a little challenge for ourselves and we answered the call. Hope we saved some lives today by dropping our little life raft pods, helping some folks out. Throttle on this thing is a little bit touchy. Look at that. Take the Apache first. Nice. That, for parking inside, we did a pretty darn good job, I think. I like it. All right, there we are, hour 34. So yeah, roughly that was our expected time. Let me go ahead and get over here to Firefly Air to get my flight submitted. And get my hours counted. I need to find the BN2. I think it's down here. I found it the other day. Where did it go? There it is, right there. We took off from EGHF at 12:16, and we landed EGLC at 13:51. There we are. Submit. All right. Well, that will do it for today, folks. I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today, whether you were at work or at home or wherever you may be. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out and saying hello. I will see you tomorrow morning, 7:10 Eastern in the Twin Beach. No navigation points. It's going to be a straight shot from Shannon up to Belfast City, to the airport there, and then another straight shot from Belfast City up to over to Edinburgh. So no crazy stuff, just straight flying. So anyway, that will do it for today. You're welcome, Joseph. Thank you. So enjoy the rest of your Friday morning, afternoon, evening, early Saturday, the 1st of October for some folks, possibly, depending on where you are in the world. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until tomorrow, peace, live long and prosper.